Alrighty. Looks like we're about to go live. Alrighty. Let's see. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions. Thank you guys again for joining us for another Sunday Stock Talk. If you guys are joining us for the first time and don't know exactly what this is, I have a group. It's TechBot Solutions. We're a little bit now over 50,000 members worldwide. And the thing that we do best is we provide a free and simple platform for both new and experienced traders. Not only do we invest in the stock market, but we talk about the different markets that we excel in, and we never tell you where to buy, where to sell, where to cut your losses. All we're here for is to simply guide you in the right direction. So I hope that you guys see value in today's Sunday Stock Talk. This is where we come together as a group and we simply just talk about the stocks for this upcoming week, Monday through Friday, in the U.S. stock exchange that we see value in. So overall, I hope you guys are excited. I know I'm pretty excited. I always look forward to Mondays, and this week is going to be an extremely crazy week. I'm actually on my way right now to the airport, and I'm going to be flying into San Francisco. So for all those in Northern California, feel free to message me if you guys want to meet up, but we are going to be doing a lot of work over there, so I'm super excited for that. So let's go ahead and get right to it. I want to thank everyone for joining. Let me pause this. It's weird that I can see myself. Let's do this. Pop out chat. Boom. There we go. For all those that are joining TechBot Solutions, once you get accepted and want to be part of the Discord group chat, you simply go to the main group chat link, click right there, and you can be a part of it. If you guys want to join up or sign up for my lesson library and mentorship program that ends today, the mentorship program ends today. You guys can click this link and it'll guide you onto that platform. So again, that's the top pinned post. Let's go ahead and get right to it. My actual Thinkorswim platform is loading right now. So let's go ahead and see how everyone's doing. What's up, guys? Let's see. I'm going to say what's up to all these people. So Eating Emo Kids 15, Peter Escobar, William, Will, Ronnie, Mr. Magnificent, okay, GY Life, Angel, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Will Sankit, what's going on, brother? Magnet Man, you guys have very creative usernames. Gage, Minimal California, what's up? Ricky Rick 2, I like that. What's going on? Rant Gaming's Bryce, my man, how you doing? Mason, I like that. How you doing, bud? There we go. How are you? I'm doing great, guys. Today was just pretty stressful with everything that was going on. I mean, it's what's going on, Alexander from Jersey. I like that. But I hope you guys are all having an amazing day. It's Sunday. I'm sure that you guys are, either watching football, spending time with your family, working hard, right? Because that's what we do, and just enjoying life, getting prepared for this upcoming week. If you guys can do me the biggest favor, I want to make sure that every time that you guys, before you guys choose to take a position, we focus on three things. You understand what you're investing in, you have a plan before taking the position, and you understand the risk involved. Understanding that, meaning that you have a plan on the entry point, the exit point, and where your stop loss is going to be. Therefore, you're not going to have any surprises this week. You don't take advantage of any opportunity that you don't truly fully understand. Again, it's not about how many positions you take, but the quality of positions that you choose to take throughout the entire week. So let's go ahead and just get straight to it. So we have Rant Gaming saying, love the last video, by the way. I appreciate that. I'm really glad that you did. Last video was, I just felt very weird in the morning. I felt very anxious. If you guys heard my voice in the morning in my first live stream, James calling me Pickle Rick, what's up? But you guys could see that I'm kind of coming down with maybe a cold or something, but overall I feel pretty good. Let's get right to it though. I don't want to waste too much of your guys' time. My Thinkorswim platform is actually loading right now. I'm not too sure why it's taking so long to load, so I'm actually going to exit out of the Facebook, making sure that that's not actually what's slowing me down. But let's go ahead and we have a good amount of tickers that are going to be shouted out. Let's see. Let's go ahead and close this. Boom. So we have people calling out. This is how we call out different stocks within our platform in our group chat. If you guys want to make sure that they are viewed by the top group leaders, then you just put it in a simple format. It's a very effective way on how people can kind of just skim over your stock or your suggestion, and they can see why it is that you see value in it. It's rather than just having a ticker symbol like this, you actually have it in this proper format. So very simple format. You put the ticker symbol, support and resistance, desired entry point and exit point, and why it has potential. Breakout stock. I like that. We called this one out. So Vitino, that was one of our top stocks for October for the beginning of the month. My Thinkorswim platform needs to hurry up. So Ricky, let me know when you're in SF if you have some spare time. That's Song. Whoa, Angel again with that donation. Dude, you don't have to continue donating. Just send me a direct message and I'll do that for you. It would. I would like to pay for your commission. Okay, so he's asking me to call for NETE. Desired entry point is $5.50. Desired exit point is going to be $6. So we'll definitely break that down. So $5.50 to $6. I like that. Okay. Whoa, come on. Installing updates. Thank you, TD Ameritrade. Perfect timing with those updates. I'm really sorry about that, guys. I'll just start answering a couple of your guys' questions. So yes, feel free to message me, Song. If you want to message me or direct message me within the Discord group chat, feel free to direct message me. There's a couple of people that are in San Francisco that want to meet up. I'd be more than happy to meet up. I think I can spare some time on my trip over there. I plan to be there for at least about a week, and we'll see how everything goes. So looks like it's getting ready. My goodness. But I do have a list of stocks that I would like to talk about, but my TOS is down too. Wow. Really sorry, team. Let me see if my phone app is acting up. Let's see. All right, I had my Thinkorswim open this morning. I'm not too sure what's going on, and there it goes. Don't you guys love when the Thinkorswim app updates and it erases all the setting options on your phone? Or is that just me? Boom. All right. Let me cover this real quick. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. All right. Now you guys get to see me and my beautiful face. Totally kidding. I know you guys think I'm ugly. All right. I think we're all set. Really sorry about this, guys. And yes, for all those that are going to be wondering if I'm going to be live 15 minutes before the market opens, I will be live 15 minutes before the market opens every single day this week. This week is going to be the start of our mentorship. So my mentorship to sign up for it ends today, and it starts officially tomorrow. So for all those that are signing up, there's still time. There's still room available. If you would like to sign up, it's going to be the first link in the description. And with that being said, we're going to send out a mass email today and tomorrow to prepare you guys for the one-to-one video calls, get you guys all set up in the Discord group chat, and making sure that we can take advantage of the private Q&A and all that stuff. So I'm pretty excited on that. And let's see. MG and it's pretty much magnificent. You're saying that I have an amazing set of hair. I appreciate that. I've been told I have a... Totally kidding. All right. I don't think this could be any slower. Really sorry about this, team. Really, really sorry about this. So the lesson library, so for all those that are going to be asking, is my lesson library part of the mentorship? So yeah, you purchase the lesson library. Again, this isn't for everyone. This is just for those that see value in it. So you purchase the lesson library, and for those that see value in it, the first 300 that choose to be a part of it, so you guys have to reach out to us, get enrolled in the mentorship program. So we've had, over the 300 people to sign up, but not everyone wanted to be part of the mentorship. They strictly just wanted access to the curriculum just because of their job schedule and stuff like that. So therefore, it opens a little bit more spots for those that do want to be a part of the mentorship program, and that's really that simple. Alrighty. Think we're gonna be set to go. Oh, we got someone that's being a little sassy. Courtney being a little sassy. So I think we've talked about this before. If you guys want to be part of the mentorship program, it's the lesson library. It's the first link in the description. You guys can feel free to sign up. And if you guys use the promo code TechBuds50, that's with an S, you guys get an additional $50 off the lesson library. Again, this isn't for everyone. I'm going to continue doing what it is that I do on YouTube. This is simply for those that want more of a guidance. And I talked about it in my first video today. So after this video, if you guys would like to watch the video that I uploaded prior to this one, it gives you a little bit of a better understanding of what my lesson library includes, as well as it's not just about trading in the stock market, but as well as I give some tips and tricks on what has led to my success when it came down to investing in real estate, starting your own business, and then the importance of having a commission-based job or sales-based job that pays more than minimum wage or more than the average income and stuff like that. So very simple techniques that I've just learned, and I'd love to share it with you guys to expose you to multiple markets that you could potentially see value in. A lot of people might be interested in the stock market, but might not actually see like true value in it or might not be passionate about it. So, I'm just here to expose you guys to different markets and we can go from there. So let's go ahead and get right to it. I think we should be pretty good to go. So again, the mentorship program, all the links are in the description. So let's go ahead and just keep it to the Sunday stock check if we can. I'll answer a couple of the questions later if that's cool. So let's go ahead and see when the, so they started coming out right here. So I'll go ahead and start out with Angel and his suggestion, and that was NETE. And again, guys, the stocks that we talk about today, in no way does this mean that you have to trade actually any of these stocks. This is simply us talking about stocks that we see value in, I see value in, and it does not mean that you personally have to see value in whatsoever. So yeah, it's NETE. We could see that it recently had a little bit of a pullback, and that was right at $4. With that being said, let's go ahead and see. Okay. Honey, you're not on the Wi-Fi, are you? Alrighty, so we had a little bounce and it's starting to validate that support and starting to show signs of an upward trend. Wow, that thing really had a solid bounce. It definitely offers a lot more margin for profit, and this is a 5-day analysis. Whoa. Alrighty, so we could see that it validated the support that it previously had at $4. If you guys saw that 180-day analysis that I did, looks like it saw a downward trend since the resistance that it hit at $12. So that's the price point that we're going to call out as the resistance. We're going to call out the support at $4 because that's where it held above and it validated that as a solid support. So again, support is where it bounces at, resistance is usually where it peaks out at. Very simple understanding, right? Where's the next resistance that we're most likely going to experience? Well, if we focus within this little area right here, I'm sure we can identify, yep, so it looks like it had a previous support at $6. If you guys see that when it saw a downward trend, bounce here at $6, tried to bounce above $8 and then came back to 6 and then finally broke below it and it acted as a new resistance. It looks like on Friday, it broke above 6, hit 7, saw a pullback and is now trending at about 5. So this thing's extremely volatile. This thing's moving a lot more than I think a normal $5 stock would be moving. So Angel, I think one of the things that you should be asking yourself is like, why is this stock seeing such large movement? Is it because it's at such a good price point? Or is it because there's a certain news that's acting as a catalyst on why it's moving so much? And is that a safe trade or is that a bad trade? I would say based on the trade that I see, it offers a lot of potential as even a day trade, especially on the low points and being able to take advantage of it when it comes down to it peaking out. That's 30% potential plus. So with that being said, I think if it continues this trend overall, if it continues to hold above $5, that would be, it's still showing that sign of the upward staircase, so it's still showing signs of an upward trend making its way. I think the first resistance is going to be $6, so I'd like to get in anywhere around 5, try to sell around 6, and that would be more than enough profit for myself. That's 20% on itself, 50% or 50 cents is 10% for a $5 stock. So I think if we continue to hold above $5, understanding that the resistance, again, the old support is at $6, and you can see that it validated that as the old resistance as well. So it's now after market hours. It looked like it was trading at $5.20. We just have to see how this opens. If this thing opens all the way down here, then is that going to be the best move to buy when it broke the support and is continuing to see an upward trend? Not really. But if it starts to show any indication that it's moving back up, then that can be a huge opportunity for a day trade, especially if the demand and the volume is there to follow. So I think this one does offer a lot of opportunity, and it's going to be on one of the top stocks for my list, just because of how much it's moving. Like, that's huge. From $4, it went up to $7. That's almost 100% profit, and this is for a $5 stock, which is very rare. With that, I'm sorry, not 100% profit, 50% profit, almost. So it's 43.78% profit that you could have made if you bought at $4.04 and would have sold anything above, $7. So it definitely offers a lot of margin for profit. So that's a huge call out. I think just being able to validate that it's continuing its upward trend and making sure that, when it does, and I mean, it's very simple, I think, to be able to see when you can see that this thing is starting to peak out. RSI indicator starts to peak out. MACD indicator builds that little hill. So something that I look for on the MACD indicator when it starts to formulate a downward trend, as you guys see these bars right here, you see that it starts seeing a downward trend. You see that these bars start getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and then it turns into these red candlesticks or these red bars. You can indicate when a stock is most likely going to start trending down. Not 100%. Again, no indicator is 100% certain, but it can give you an indication when the RSI is way oversold. You can tell that it's at a previous, support, which is a new resistance, and you can see the MACD indicator is starting to trend down. That is most likely time to sell. With that being said, if you see the bars starting to get bigger and bigger, then we're most likely going to experience a bounce. Very simple understanding. I think that was a great call out. So thank you again, Angel, for calling that one out. Now let's go ahead and see. Alrighty, let's go ahead and see what else you guys have to say. Let me go ahead and break down, if it's cool with you guys, I'll go ahead and break down my top 5 stocks that I'm looking at this week, and then we'll go from there, and then I'll start breaking down your stocks. One of the stocks that really caught my attention, this is not 100%. If it ends up breaking above $15, this could be a huge game changer for TEVA. It's been on a continuous downward trend since it hit its peak at $19.16. And it looks like it finally bounced at about $14.30 and is now at the resistance, as you guys can see, right around $15. With that being said, it looks like if it does end up breaking the resistance here that we see at $15, then we can start getting that legit upward trend, like long term, and really start seeing some movement. I think if we can break above 15, okay. If we can break above 15, then we can get that indication that we can most likely end up hitting 16, and that's going to be the next resistance. So TEVA is one that I'd keep my eyes on. I think if it does end up breaking above 15, then that's a really good indicator that it's going to continue its upward trend. So I'm going to simply set my alert there. If it does not break above 15 and then pulls back again, I'm not very interested in trading TEVE. Alrighty, let's go ahead and set my alerts while my computer. Let's see what you guys have to say. That door. Alright, so the next one, let's go ahead and just start moving down the list. I want to talk about TX real quick. This one was brought to my attention on Friday. This isn't one that I'm seeing crazy amounts of value in. Looking at the 1-year chart, when breaking it down, what is that you guys see? We see this previous resistance right almost at the price point that it's at right now. That's about $28. If we can break above $28, this would almost, based on the last time that it was at $28, that was an old support which acted as a new resistance last time. If we can break above $28, right now $28, all I'm looking at it as is a resistance. If we can break above $28 and really, hold above $28, then that means that we can start trading in this margin that it previously had from $30 to $40. It really depends on how this company performs once it ends up hitting $30, if that $28. If that demand is still there, it offers a lot of potential for more margin. But this is a 1-year analysis, and this is an all-time high within 52 weeks. With that being said, if it ends up hitting $28 and pulls back, then again, that's what we'll do. If it breaks above $28 and then it holds, then that's an indication that it still has margin to make up, and then we can start trading in the previous areas of $28 to $45 altogether. So just wanted to talk about that very quickly. UGAS has been one that we've talked about this past week. This is a gas ETF. Overall, it's been seeing a downward trend since it's open. There's no question about that. But when it comes down to the 3 to 7 day swing trade, I think that this one offers a lot of potential. It is validating somewhat that $11.30 resistance as a pretty strong resistance, and that is a previous resistance that it has had before. So if we go to a 20-day analysis, we can see that that was a previous support. I've traded UGAS and DGAS multiple times, so that's why I'm very familiar with it. And if you guys could see right here, that was an old support. That's where it bounced at and ended up hitting highs of like $12.50. It broke below that support and then hit lows of $9.50. If you guys remember and tuned in for last week's of our Sunday Stock Talk, this was one of the top stocks that I was seeing value in if it bounced. And what did it do? It broke above VMA, it bounced, and a lot of traders, if you guys saw their callouts and saw their profits, they did very well. From $9.50 to $11.50. That was a peak. When it went above $11, that was the time to sell. That's over 15% profit. So for all those that are asking or saying, swing trades are not profitable, swing trades are not like momentum trades, and they're not consistent. How many of you were up 15% last week? It's not about how many positions that you take, but how many quality positions that you take advantage of and that you manage your risk. Not every single position is gonna come according to your plan. But if you plan it out and really wait for those good quality trades, then they can really pay out. And it's nothing crazy that you need to do. There's no stress level that you need to experience while you're day trading, especially if you're new. Keep it very simple. And I think this is the same thing that when talking about TEVA, it's at the resistance right now. UGAS is at resistance at $11.30. So what am I looking at? Well, if UGAS breaks and holds above $11.30, great. Then we have that margin to make up, like it previously did, from $11.30 to $12.50. That's a pretty decent margin. It can make that up within 2 to 3 days. That's almost 10%. Now, if it cannot break above $11.30 and we see that resistance to be too strong, then we're most likely going to head back down to $10 and potentially even lower than that. If you guys have seen looking at the big picture of UGAS, it has been on a consistent downward trend. So there's no question that it could actually break that $9.50 support and then again start trading within that area for a couple months, and then it breaks that support again. It's a depreciating ETF. So there's no question about that. It's just taking advantage of the margins of profit within the day if it presents that value. So if it breaks above $11.30, great. We have a good quality stock that offers about 9.5% potential for profit at that $12.50 resistance. If it does not break above $11.30, the stock is most likely worthless to me, and I'm going to trade the inverse of it, which is DGAS, and that's going to be the next one that I'm going to be talking about. DGAS overall hit a resistance at about $29 and is now at its previous support. Previous support, which was an old resistance level, that's about $24.50. That's where it's at right now. If we break above $25, then that means DGAS is on its trend up. So in the grand scheme of things, it's very simple. If we see that UGAS cannot break $11.30 and see it start trending down and then breaks below $11, we can understand that UGAS is on a downward trend and DGAS is going to be making up that margin. It's going to be heading back from $25 to $29, and what does that offer? It offers almost exactly the same potential, about a little bit over 10%. About 13%. So keeping it very simple. This is why I love trading these inverse ETFs, because I know when one goes down, the other one goes up. So I wait for the confirmation. I'm going to wait for UGAS. If UGAS goes above 11.30, then I'm going to keep my eyes on that one, and that's most likely the one that I'll choose to day trade. If I look at UGAS and I see that thing starts pulling back, I'm going to take a position on DGAS and take advantage of that opportunity, because DGAS is the one that it's at its overall support right now. That simple. So DGAS and UGAS, those are the ones that I'm going to keep my eyes on for this upcoming week as well. Let's see what you guys have to say. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. I did not see that. I apologize for that. So you guys are saying love me some ETFs. That's the thing. How is it that I find these stocks? I either scan for them. I've made a video on how to scan for my swing trading stocks. Doesn't mean that this is the only way that you can scan, but for those that are part of the lesson library, we're doing a complete walkthrough on how I set up my scanners and how you can set yours up, and the free way to do it. So those are for those that are part of the lesson library. Overall, for those that are just part of TechBot Solutions, 100%, I've made a video for you guys already, and it walks you guys step by step on how to do it. So feel free to watch it if you guys see value in it, and it's free. So let me go ahead and move on to the next one. ATRS. This is a huge gapper if it plays out the way that we plan it to. Again, this thing needs to break, and I'm just following up with this one. We caught this one. One of our members called it out, not me. One of our members called it out and asked for my opinion. I'm waiting for the break above $2.50, and that's going to be right around here for a technical breakout. If you can see, that's the overall resistance that it had during pre-market hours, and the overall support, it's holding above $2. That's great. I don't really care about that. I really just care if it breaks above $2.50. So that's where my alert's going to be set up. $2.50. I'm going to wait for the technical breakout there, and if it does end up breaking there, we might have a huge volume spike like last week or 2 weeks ago when it came down to trading GNCA. That was one of my top stocks for October. And if you guys remember me calling that out in the Discord group chat, it was after my live stream we called it out, and we're waiting for the breakout $1.50, and I actually didn't get in until $1.60, and ended up selling way early, and ended up almost hitting highs of $2, or it did end up hitting highs of $2. Basically ATRS. These are the dip buys. These are all day trades. You want to make sure that you have an understanding on how to buy, how to sell quickly, and identify the good low points and high points. If it breaks above $2.50 and I see that the volume is following, there's a huge surge of volume and I can see it picking up, I'll take a position. I'll make sure that if it goes below $2.50, I'll cut my losses there. I don't want to hold it anything below $2.50, but I see the potential for this thing to go back up to $3 to $3.50. I don't find that to be far-fetched, especially if the demand is there to follow. Pharmaceutical company, it most likely did not meet its FDA requirement, or some drug that it was trying to produce obviously didn't go through, or they probably sent it back for some reason. I don't really care too much about the company. I'm not going to swing trade it. I'm not going to hold it. I'm going to get in, get out, take advantage of the opportunity after that technical breakout, and that's it. It's very simple. So ATRS, I have my alert set, and that's going to be a potential day trade for me. So I have my alert set, and I'm only going to trade it. I'll follow up with it in the morning, and I have all my stocks right here on the left-hand side, exactly where I trade, and I know my entry points and my exit points for each and every single one. I want to make sure that I'm organized and I understand what it is that I'm investing in and the risk involved, because right now you might understand it, but maybe a little bit later you might not. Just because we go through so many different things, and there's no question that we might forget some things. Overall, I'm not too sure if you guys remember, but RF, I called it out that after it broke above $15 to $15.50, it was most likely going to see a downward trend. The reason I said that was because of its previous highs. Again, I don't do anything crazy. I don't look for anything fancy. I look at previous trends, the low points, the high points. I could see that the RSI indicator was way overbought. Way overbought, waiting for the pullback and waiting for it to come anywhere from around $14 to even lows of $13. Until it validates that support and breaks above the EMA, I do not care about RF. And it's as simple as that. Now, a lot of people have been asking about JNUG. Something that I talked about JNUG is that I felt like it was consolidating a lot around that $17 to $20 price point. It still has not broken. The entire week, it broke above $20 for 1 or 2 days and then pulled right back. We thought with the news that happened with President Trump and everything it is that he was saying, we're waiting in our group chat for some news to come out that he said something that could have, sparked some kind of like news article to say that something about war or some uncertainty within our economy. Because usually when that whole thing was going back and forth with Korea and the United States, that's when these gold-based ETFs were doing very well. Obviously, we don't want war to happen, or we don't want anything like that, but it's the advantage or the opportunity that you can take advantage of when you understand that news and how it correlates to the pricing for JNUG and these gold-based ETFs. Same thing with this. If we see JNUG break above $20 and it starts to trend and the volume is there to back it up, then we'll most likely want to pull out of JDST. But as of now, JDST is the one that's at its overall resistance, and this is the inverse ETF. Right now, we could see that JDST is kind of hitting a top at $60. It's starting a flat line at 50. If we see that break below 50 and it really starts to hold, then we know that JNEG is most likely going to be the position that we want to take. So just understand those correlations between those two stocks. Okay, so NAK looks like it's hitting a resistance at around $2.20. It might continue trending up. It looks like it's way above EMA actually, so that's actually pretty solid. I think a couple of our traders called this stock out in our group chat. So CLSN, we called this one out that this thing's most likely going to continue trending down. It did have a nice little push last week. Definitely not a swing trade, 100% not a swing trade. If it breaks below $4, it might bounce at $4, but if it breaks below it, then 100% this thing's heading back down to $3, and then if it breaks below that, we're heading back down to that $1 price point. So this is definitely not a swing trade whatsoever. This is another dip buy. So let's go ahead and focus on this. Do you guys see what I'm talking about when it comes to this? RSI indicator, it's way below 30 RSI. The MACD indicator is starting to curve up, meaning that it's starting to show that this thing's about to bounce. But we don't want to rely on an indicator. All we know is that it dropped so much that, okay, where is the first resistance going to be? It's going to be most likely at around $3. The reason why? That's where the old support was. Old supports become new resistance levels, and that's where the EMA is at, and that's where most likely we'll hit a wall if we can get a technical breakout. But looking at the 5-day analysis, we can see that it's really consolidating here, and it's holding above $2. Again, I didn't find this stock. One of our traders did. I simply saw value in it, and that's why I added it to my watch list. It's nothing crazy. He didn't tell me to trade it. I didn't tell him to trade it. We never tell each other what to buy or what to sell. All we know is that it has a support at $2, has a resistance at $2.50. That's simple. So understanding that, we can try to buy in right now and cut our losses if it goes below 2. Therefore, right now, our potential for loss, if we get in at 210, might be a little bit higher than I would want to, so I probably won't do that. But if I can see that it's starting to trend up intraday, meaning all within one day, I can see the opportunity or why it might be attractive to buy at these low points if I can see ACRX starting to trend up, and that's going to be at the $2.50 price point. This is where I'm really going to be more attracted to ACRX. When it gets closer to $2.50, if it ends up breaking above $2.50, that's where I'm really going to want to take advantage of that opportunity, because again, this is a technical breakout, offers a 50-cent margin of profit. It just means that we have to break above 250 for us to get that pop. We want to make sure that the volume follows, and that if it breaks below 250, then most likely, and it holds below 250, then most likely it's still a resistance, and then it'll continue trending down. So I think I've talked about a majority of the stocks that I see value in. The only other two are going to be GoPro. So GoPro, I feel like it's consolidating. I'm going to truly wait. Looking at it at the 180-day analysis. All right. Looking at it at the 180-day analysis, we can see the support line that I drew right here, the resistance line that I drew right here. We're getting a little bit closer to the holiday season. So it's a direct correlation to, okay, well, there's this ascending upward trend, so it's staircasing up. Also, we're getting closer to that EMA. It's getting ready to break above EMA. So, we might want to wait for the break above $10 for those that want to swing trade it and play it safe. And the overall resistance is around $12.50. What's the potential for profit that this offers? It offers anywhere almost up to 20% potential for profit. Again, multi-million-dollar company, buying it on its pullbacks. You only need to take advantage of one of these trades to be on track to hitting your daily goal. Very simple. Wait for this thing to start performing the way that you want it to, if you see value in it, and if you do, formulate a plan where you're buying, where you're selling, and where you're going to cut your losses. It's been doing this on time after time. Pumps up, hits the resistance, pulls back. Identifies the support, breaks above EMA, pumps up, hits the resistance, pulls back. We wait for it to break above EMA, and we wait for that demand to start increasing. We can see that there was huge volume surges as it was increasing in price. Huge volume follows increases in price. What do we have to do? Wait for the volume to follow for it to start showing signs of an upward trend, because with volume and with demand, that's a direct correlation on what will cause a price increase. So, and then the last one that I'm going to talk about that I see value in is, again, thanks to one of our traders, and it's SHOP. This is Shopify, and I think it's no question there is some form of bad news that came out for Shopify. So again, multi-million, if not billion-dollar company. Overall resistance right around $1.20, and that's where I'm going to draw that resistance line. Something that I'm waiting for is for the break above EMA. It has not broken above the EMA yet. It looks like it's starting to flatline like it's done before. I want to make sure that I catch it when it's increasing in price, not decreasing. We don't know 100% that it's going to validate the support. We want to make sure that we catch it on this on the upward trend. Therefore, from I think anywhere from $95 to around $96, that's when it's going to break above EMA. And then the potential that it offers back at its 120 resistance is about 25% potential for profit. Tell me what day trade that is a reputable company that you could predict or see a trend that offers about 25% potential for profit. And if you can, great, you found a good quality stock. If you can't and you're trading based on other people's opinion, you're trading based on other people's alerts, or you're trading because you want to follow the hype, that's up to you. I'm not here to tell you what you can or cannot do. I just want to make sure that you understand that there's a huge form of risk involved. And if you start to develop really yourself as a reputable trader and really can label these good quality stocks as good quality stocks, then that's when you're really going to make the transition over from someone that just mimics other people's trades and can really find these trades. So I want to thank all the people that called out Shopify, the individual that called out ATRS, the individual that called out ACRX and told me all about these different stocks. Obviously, you guys are doing something right because you saw an opportunity and you guys presented it to me asking for my opinion. And I'm totally okay with that because like one of you guys did last week, one of you guys called out LBuy and within a couple minutes I took a position and I made, it wasn't anything crazy. I think it was $140 in a couple minutes though. Super quick. You guys exposed me to an opportunity. I had an understanding on how to take advantage of it and how to see if there's a good stock that I see value in or if it's not. With that being said, I chose to take advantage of that opportunity and I made a couple bucks off of it. I want you guys to be able to do the same thing. I want you guys to be able to share ideas and not just have to copy other people's ideas. So, oh my goodness. Okay, so it looks like Shopify is under investigation over some, he likes to use a funny word. Let's see. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and see what you guys. Alrighty. Oh man, I think I passed it. Alright, so we have a couple. Oh, there's no ticker symbol. Oh, okay, that's the depot. Alright, so in 180-day analysis, this is depot. So I actually don't know what this company is, but it looks like it's been on a solid downward trend. It was at $6. That's kind of where it was consolidating, and it broke that support. Now it's at that $5 support, and it's just been showing just complete signs of a downward trend. So realistically, I don't see too much potential in this one altogether. If it bounces at $5 and starts to show signs of an upward trend, great, it might offer some potential for a day trade, but I definitely don't see this stock to be one that all of a sudden would really start to pump back up. It looks like last week or 3 weeks ago, it started seeing a downward trend. RSI indicator indicated that it was oversold. That doesn't mean that it's a good buy. It was oversold. It still did not show any signs of an upward trend. So I'm not going to take advantage of that specific opportunity. So I'm not. Thank you for the call out. It's just I don't think that one offers too much potential long term. So IMUC. Let's go ahead and call that one out. IMUC. Whoa. Okay, well, IMUC has been consolidating. Obviously, this one is a little bit below $1. It's not something that I would feel comfortable trading. Getting a little bit closer, I think, and there's no question that this would be more of a day trade. I'm going to look at it at the 5-day analysis and see how the volume is. Looks like it pulled back. It's trying to hold above $30, kind of a resistance at around $38. And it looks like every 2 cents it has a margin. So it bounces around here, and then before that pullback, it had a margin from about 40 to 42 cents. So I think one of the biggest things is understanding that right now it's at the resistance at $38. So if you can get a pop above 38, then that's a solid indication that it's trending back up. But realistically, I think with these lower cap stocks, especially if you're a new trader, you might want to focus in something a little bit easier to manage risk on. Looking at it all together, we just did a yeah, I think this one's actually still heading back down. Looks like it's trying to build a support based on its previous trend at around $30, if that. But no, why can't it, I mean, it broke above EMA. So do you guys see that? It pulled back the EMA. It ended up pulling back to lows of 35 and then pulled right back above the EMA. So if it continues its upward trend, then that's great. It offers some potential for a day trade, but I definitely would not consider this to be a swing trade. I think in the grand scheme of things, it's relatively in a little bit of a higher price point than the lower price points. So, okay, so we have EFX and XXII. EFX, I think I called this one out last week, and we called it out because it hit somewhat of a resistance. This was its first time hitting a solid resistance on its upward trend. So we called this one out when it bounced at $90, and so many of our swing traders were able to take advantage of that. Now that it broke above 110, it's been kind of consolidating here, and it's been kind of like iffy. It's been going to lows of like 107. Again, it hits like 110 and then pulls back. So this is kind of like an iffy point. I would consider this one to be more of a day trade at the price point that it's at right now, because if this one pulls back all the way down to $100, you don't want to give up all the profits that you already made. So I think taking advantage of the low points from like 107 to 106 and selling it back up to like the 110 price point, it doesn't offer huge margins. It offers about 3%. So you just have to ask yourself, is that worth taking my position? And if it's not, then just wait for the confirmation that it's heading back to like that 120 resistance that we called out. But we want to make sure that it has a really solid upward trend, that there's certain news following. So you guys might want to look a little bit more into the company and what's to follow. If you see some form of indication that would lead the stock to continue trending up, then great. You're doing something that can really make it start. You'll have a better understanding on why it would be pulling back up and. Wow. This thing pulled back all the way down to almost lows of $6, started pulling back up, and okay. Overall support should be around 950. That's interesting. Okay, SBBP. Okay. Alright guys, so I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do XXII, and then I'm going to do HMNY, and then we'll end it there. So, okay, I like this one. So I like looking at it kind of like long term because I can kind of see. I actually really like this one. So thank you for this call out. Let me make sure that I give him credit for it. Where is he? BD Hall 93. What's going on, bud? So I think this is pretty solid. It has this margin, if you guys could see right here. If it holds and if it starts showing signs of an upward trend, it has this support based on where it previously bounces at. Do you see this? Where it previously bounces at. It's not perfect, but at $6. And then it has a resistance right around $7, $7.50. But I like to play it safe. $7.50 is good enough for me. So it looks like now it's starting to break above the EMA. So I think using its previous trend as in comparison to the potential for this thing to start trending back up. So I think this one does offer a good swing trade or day trade potential. RSI is still relatively pretty low, and the MACD indicator is also validating that this thing might have the potential to start trending up. We want to make sure that it continues to hold and it continues to show signs of an upward trend, just like it did last time, and it holds above EMA. With that being said, is it truly above EMA right now? No, I don't think until it breaks above 650 that it will truly be above EMA, and I think when it does break above 650, we'll have a better understanding that it's going to be heading back to that $7 price point. That's almost 8% potential. And if it heads back to the previous almost highs of 750, that's about 13.5% potential. I actually really like this one. So this is not one that I've ever had anyone talk to me about. I think we're catching it at a pretty low point relatively. That $6 support, it's around $6.20 right now, so it's not too bad. And its overall resistance is about $7. It's a trend that I can understand and that I can validate. And we're simply going and trading based off of more of a technical trade. So I think that's pretty easy to identify. So XXII, XXII long term is seeing a solid upward trend. I think in the grand scheme of things, for how it's currently playing out, it's seen more of a downward trend. It's not breaking above EMA. Again, I like to invest in something that's seen an upward trend because the volume and the rush tends to follow, and it does this, a majority of the time. All I look at is our trends. So look, when it sees a downward trend, it pulls back pretty solid, but when it starts breaking above EMA, it really starts to push. It hits a peak. We could tell with the RSI indicators, the 3 peaks right here. 1, boom. 2, boom. 3, boom. Time to sell. When do we know that they're good times to buy? Boom. No, not there. So a better time to have bought in is right around here. So again, RSI indicators are not always 100%, and you can see the MACD indicators also follow. Right now, it's right around the price point that it was last time, and that's fine. But again, it has not broken above EMA, and it looks like it continues to make new highs. So it's almost showing that upward staircase trend. So that's what I'm going to draw right here. So something that I'm going to wait for, it looks like it's trying to hold pretty well above 275, and it's at 280 right now. I think that's a really good indication that, if it breaks that trend and continues going down, then we'll most likely, just wait until it comes to our desired price point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a alert if it goes below 275, but I'm also going to set an alert if it breaks above $3. If it breaks above $3, we have an indication that it's showing signs of true upward trend, and that it's breaking that resistance and starting to trend back up. Therefore, it's on its way to make new highs. And it's with that simple understanding that from $3 to, even hitting the previous highs, that offers about 25% potential for profit. Again, we're looking at previous trends. We've identified a margin of profit. We're waiting for the validation of the trend. We're not just jumping into it. We're waiting for it to validate the trend that we're trying to take advantage of. And then we formulate the plan, where we're buying in, where we're selling, and where we're going to cut our losses. Always have a form of risk involved, because if you can keep your losses smaller than your profits, then you're golden. So last one that I'm going to be talking about, so I'm adding that one to my list as well. And I'll have this all posted for you guys. If you guys are part of the TechBud Solutions platform, the lesson library, and then the Facebook group for TechBud Solutions, I'll have this all posted for you. I'll post it in the format that we usually do, and have it nicely written out for the top stocks for week 3 or week 2 of October. Is it week 3? Oh my goodness, it's week 3. I have the wrong title. Right? Yeah. HMNY. This thing's like, I think, one of the biggest pumps that I've ever seen this year. Looks like it's actually trending back up. Looks like it's holding above $20. Let's see. Let's see. I think we have a hater. Where's he at? Oh man. Oh man. James has nothing better to do. I just don't understand why they, guys. It's totally okay. It's I just find it so funny that people love just wasting their time. And yeah, let's get back to it. So HMNY, it looks like it's holding pretty well above $20. I think that it's still way overpriced. Supposedly, they're announcing like a lot of potential partnerships based on what I've heard about HMNY. I don't know really much about the company altogether, but they're some form of like movie company where they sell some form of season passes at a very affordable rate, and it's a very what's it called, like the CEO of HMNY and the actual company itself. He's a very reputable and well-known CEO, and based on that, there's a lot of kind of just support for the investors and stuff like that, and I think that's really what's acted as a catalyst for HMNY. I still think that it's way overpriced. I would not swing trade it. I think there's too much risk involved, but when it comes down to day trades, there's no question that HMNY can really pump, but it's making sure that you know when to buy in and when to sell. If you think HMNY moves a little bit too quick for you and you're not able to take advantage of that opportunity, or are a little bit scared or a little bit hesitant about how quick it moves, don't trade it. There's no reason to discourage yourself. There's no reason to take a position of a stock that you don't really understand, especially when there's a bunch of manipulation and a bunch of hype behind it. The trend and the hype will all die out within the weeks to come, and it will truly, just show what its true value is. And with that simple understanding, just let it be. I think it does offer potential within day trades, and I think it does have potential as it breaks above the EMA for it to continue trending up. I think that there's no question that I think that people will continue to pump it up. It's just being able to buy it at the low points and sell it at the high points. Formulated plan, and it looks like if it holds above $20, it has the next resistance at $25. When it breaks above 25, it's going to be 25 to 30, and then from 30 to 35. And then last time it was from 35 to 38.86, which is pretty much the $40 resistance. So looks like the MACD indicator is starting to indicate somewhat of an upward trend. We're going to have to wait to see how it opens on Monday and see if it really follows. But with that being said, yeah, so I got so lucky with HMNY last week. There's so many people that are saying that. So and there's no question about that. We had people make like $5,000 off of HMNY, and it was one of their first trades. And I don't want to discourage you guys, and I don't want you guys to get to not truly get all hyped up about HMNY and all these different stocks and what the stock market has to offer. But when you let your emotions come into play, I feel like people, start making decisions based more on like, well, I did good here and I'm just going to go for it. This is not a market where you get lucky. And if you do get lucky once, then you'll get unlucky, for the next 5 to 10 times that follow. Don't rely on luck to be successful in any market. Be knowledgeable, understand the risk involved, and always have a plan. It's very simple. Make sure that you only invest in what you see value in and not based on other people's opinion. I'm here talking about different stocks that I hope can expose you to some form of opportunity, but it's definitely not to encourage you to trade any of them. Some of the stocks that I talked about that I saw value in today are based on other people's recommendations. Does it mean that I'm solely going to invest in them because they recommended it to me? No. You have to have your own judgment, and if you don't, then work on that. Open a paper trading account and don't risk any real money. With that being said, keep it simple. You don't have to rush it. You have years to make money in the stock market or make money in any market that you see value in. I think so many people get so hyped up because they see how much money it is that I'm making or one of our other top traders that are making. Your time will come. Make sure that you build that foundation, that you truly understand what you're investing in, and you can truly build off of that. And that's something that I'm going to be working on with the people that I have for the lesson library and the mentorship program. That's all I want to do. I want to make sure that I build that foundation for them. I'm still not going to be telling them where to buy, where to sell, or where to cut the losses. I'm just going to talk to them and see what kind of traders they are, what they see value in, and find some areas of opportunity and some pointers that I can have for them and hope to guide them in the right direction. I know that they're making a lot of just common mistakes that I just have to filter out. And that's really just it. Just kind of refine them as their own unique trader. And I think in the grand scheme of things, we should end up working, with just it being a smaller group, it's going to be, I think, that much more effective and efficient for us to communicate with one another. So, yeah, so Rant Gaming is saying, let's make some money tomorrow, guys. I 100%. Okay, I was reading a couple of the things that you guys were. Okay, so a couple people are saying a little bit more things about HMNY and stuff like that. So, all right, guys. But I'm actually 20 minutes behind on when it is that I was supposed to leave for my flight. So again, if you guys have any questions, if you guys are part of TechBot Solutions, that's the 5th link in the description. It says free Facebook group. Feel free to join there. And then like I showed you guys in the beginning of this video, on the top pinned post, you can access our Discord group chat once you guys get accepted. Once you guys get accepted, you guys can feel free to ask any questions, direct message me, and that's simply what I'm going to ask you guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. My flight doesn't take off until a little bit after 8 o'clock. So I'm going to be answering all the people's questions. We're going to be sending out a mass email for all those that are part of the mentorship program. And I think we might actually accept a little bit more than 300 people, just because some people have been making some recommendations of needing a little bit more time to pay and stuff like that. And I'm going to try to see if I can work anything out with them. So simply, the worst thing that I can say is either just no, and the worst thing that you can do is just ask. So just ask questions. Don't feel free just to ask me. Ask anyone in the group. I'm sure that we can guide you in the right direction altogether. So thank you guys again for everything it is that you guys do. Continue working hard, continue following your dreams. Let your passion be what drives in your success. And guys, there's I'm super excited for this week and everything is to come, right? If you guys can do do me one favor. Once you guys, at the end of this video, get a piece of paper and put your goal on a piece of paper, a percentage goal, not the dollar value goal, because that's always going to change on what the dollar value is for your account, but put a percentage goal on what it is for you to grow your account at the end of the week. For some people, it might be 3%. For some people, it might be 5%. For some more advanced traders, it might be 15 to 20%. Regardless of what it is, make sure that you set that goal and you work towards it. Make sure that the stocks that you're preparing for this upcoming week are working and accommodating that goal, that they're top quality stocks, that they meet all your criteria, and that the potential for profit is greater than the potential for loss. For all those that are part of the lesson library, that it offers that golden ratio. If it does, great. If it doesn't, then you don't have to take advantage of that position. It's better to not take advantage of a position and not take any loss than rather take advantage of a position that you're not really fully committed on and you end up taking a loss. Be picky, trade quality stocks, and trade stocks that you see value and not based on other people's opinion. So thank you guys again. Again, feel free to reach out to me. And other than that, that's really just it.